We are back, y'all.
What's going on, man? What's happening? Hope y'all had a good fourth, man.
Yes, sir. Ready for another fire episode incoming. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing going for sure.
Let's do it.
Raider Rundown. Appreciate you.
My God, Cheeto Linus. Appreciate you, God. Chris, protect the shield.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
God, Raider leads you
Hey, what up, Lo? What is good? What is none other than our guy?
Yes,
Man.
sir. Back for another one, man. What's going
Back
on?
for another one. Yes, sir. What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome to another installment of Good Morning Raiders. We are your hosts. I'm Jay Raider alongside my guy, the Raider Rundown. Back,
Yes, sir.
back to bring you another fire episode. Appreciate everyone pulling up with us. Salute to all of our peoples already here and already pulling up. Make sure, as y'all know, check in, hit that like button. And if you are new, just so y'all know, we do have subscriber only mode. So if you want to go ahead and participate in the chat, which you definitely should, we will be taking some questions from the chat later on in the show. Make sure you guys head on over, smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications because,
Yep.
as y'all know, we do bring fire shows every damn Saturday morning. So appreciate everyone pulling up. All right. Happy
We got a
4th.
good one for y'all today, man.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be real spicy today.
Mhm.
We got somebody in the background for y'all that hey, like I've said, he's been around my whole Raider fandom. So I'm very excited today to get into this one.
Oh yeah, same. I hope everybody had a good 4th. We did take last week off to go ahead and spend some time with the fam, and just go ahead and take a little breather, a little reset. But we are back now, and of course, we have a very, very special show with training camp literally right around the corner, less than a week away. We have a lot to go ahead and talk about. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let's go ahead and bring out the man of the hour that everybody's here waiting on. If you guys been to a Raider game, you've seen him. He is an author. He's an entrepreneur. He is the face of Raider Nation, the Black Hole. He is a Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and bring out none other than the Violator, Wayne Marbury. Appreciate you, Unc, pulling up with us this morning. Salute to you, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you're at. Hey, it's a pleasure being on. Like I told you guys, always chopping it up, talking Raiders football with Raider Nation. Ain't nothing better.
Oh
Yes,
man,
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir, man. This is gonna be a good one, like I said, man, and I keep reiterating. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. But as y'all know, man, we got to bring y'all guests that not only are knowledgeable in the Raider aspect of things, but part of the DNA, right? I feel like you part of the DNA when it comes to Raider Nation and just Raiders in period. I mean, you've seen how many Raider football teams have you seen? Have you seen the LA Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, and all three? You've seen all of those?
Yes, I've been blessed to see them in all three cities. And when I became a Raiders fan, I lived back in Mississippi. So as a child, my dream was to get as close to wherever that team with the swords and the one-eyed pirate were. So California became on my radar in the 8th grade.
Wow, that's crazy to hear, man. So from there, I mean, I know. How did you kind? I mean, we'll go ahead and deep into that. How you became a Raider fan and all that, because I know that's coming later. But I know it's just to see three different cities. I know it's kind of surreal to see them move to three different cities and still kind of have that same impact.
You know, they can move to Timbuktu, brother, but what I tell Raider fans, if you're a real one, that love doesn't fade from city to city, from country to country, if it so be. But
Oh yeah,
it just makes you dig in a little deeper each move, because with each move, there's going to be adversity or controversy. But that's what the Shield is designed to go through, any of that.
right. That's 100%. And I already know you got your things lined up, Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about ball, because at the end of the day, we're all Raider fans. We all love talking about football, especially Raiders football. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up. I think by the thing that really comes to mind, like I just said before, training camp literally starting in just over 1 week. The rookies report to training camp July 18th, which is literally next Friday. So 9 days away, they report to training camp. The vets report on the 22nd, which is a Tuesday, and we get training camp right underway, which means we're that much closer to the start of the Raiders 2025 season that we're all very excited and looking forward towards. I know I am, with a lot of new additions, but let's go ahead and kind of take a little bit of a step back, recap the off season, and we want to go ahead and get your take on everything kind of leading up to this point, right? So let's start off with the we parted ways with our old regime, AP and Tom Telesco. They brought in John Spytek and Pete Carroll. What was your feeling once you heard? Because you're from Southern California, and it is a big town. USC, UCLA are big out here in LA, right? So if you love football, you're rooting for one or the other. A lot of people are SC fans. A lot of people know Pete Carroll. What was your feeling when you heard Pete Carroll was going to go ahead and come on board? And what was your outlook towards this season coming up once you found out he was going to be the guy at the helm?
Well, first of all, after all of the, Kingsbury and the Ben Johnson, all this talk, I personally, these are just my opinions, that, these guys really weren't sure that they want to get their feet wet with this regime, with this culture, with this fan base. So I really don't think their heart was totally into it. Now, hitting up on AP, he brought that swag back that we had lost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say we literally had lost our swag.
Facts.
We're out there representing every day, 365, but internally, that swag was gone. Now, except for a few leaders, and I won't get into those guys, they kind of held the locker room together, because we, as Raider fans, always bring our A game, and that is our Raider rule number one: bring your A game every time you step into the arena. So we go through AP's tenure, and personally, I feel that it was just a lot too soon, and we've seen that in other guys that went from coordinated position to head coach. Some make it, some don't. Some struggle. And it takes years for them to really get into their groove of finding out who they are and getting the team to buy in to their philosophy. So we fast forward to the end of last season, a dismal 4-13 or 14, whatever the hell it was, man. It was dismal as far as our standards. And that was hurtful. That really hurt to the core. Now, anybody that's real will admit that. It hurt us like a gut punch. And so when we got the word that Pete Carroll was finally the one being selected, you know, it was like a moment of really joy, internal joy, because I've watched Pete Carroll since he started coaching at USC, but I also watched him when he was in the pro ranks, you know, with the Jets and the Patriots. And like I say, he really didn't get into his groove until he went to Seattle. And then you saw what he was about. Right. And like I say, this guy is a leader of men. He has more wisdom than a lot of these coaches have even learned yet. So, and wisdom means that you've gone through some shit. And so here's a guy who knows how to bring guys together, keep the room lively. Like we've seen training camp, you know, videos and clips. That whole, everybody's hopping around. And with John Spytek joining the team, now here's a guy I watched from afar when he was at Tampa Bay, even though he wasn't the lead guy. Tampa Bay to me is like the fake Pirates. So that's why I kept my eye on him. You know, you got to keep your enemies close. So I kind of watched how they build that squad, man. And once they inserted Tom Brady in, the rest is history. So these guys know how to build a team. You building a squad for right now and for tomorrow. So Pete Carroll is a plus for us, and the rest of the league already knows that. We have to, as a fan base, embrace this guy, give him our love, and give it to him real, because he already knows what to expect being with the 12 man up in Seattle. He already knows what's coming. He just ain't seen it live yet. So I can't wait to opening day, brother.
Yep.
I always said every opening day is like Christmas Day if you like opening presents. That's Christmas for me. So, you know, it's like we got to go through training camp. And like I said, we're going to roll right into that, because that's when they put the pads on and we find out who's woofing and who's there for real.
There you go. There you go. And to kind of keep it off of that, now, I'm glad you're saying this about Pete Carroll, because I know we had a little moment where a lot of us wanted Ben Johnson, you know, and I understand that, you know what I mean, because of the play calling and what it brings and the flashiness it looks like. But I was saying throughout the offseason too, man, it's like, I feel like we needed some veteran leadership in there after what we just went through with AP. And I'm not going to lie, right? I come out here, I never faked the funk, right? I was one of the people that said, man, it does look too soon, but I would give AP time, right? Let him go ahead and learn and grow and develop. It is what it is. We ended up getting rid of him. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. But in saying that, we just got rid of a coach that had zero experience, right? And Ben Johnson has a little bit, but he's never been a head coach either, right? So if we're going to keep it technical, he's never been a head coach. Like you said, we lost the swag, and it looks like we just lost something. We don't have anything really to stand on, to be honest with you, as a team. It's been years since we can look at some type of sustainable success and be like, all right, man, like we got something here. So with Pete, I really think that he'll bring that because he's veteran. So in saying all that, the question I have for you is, you've been around the game for a long time. Do you see something different so far that Pete has brought to the training camp, the energy, whatever he's brought, than maybe what it's been like previous other regimes and seasons?
Yeah, to me, you know, like I say, I haven't been to camp, but like I say, just watching from videos, and I had the honor of going to greet Ashton Genty to the dark side. So even the energy in the building, we just going to call it juice. We're going to keep it street. There was some juice. There was some juice in that building that, you know, being in other buildings, I had never felt. So it's almost like a changing of the guard. And that's why I always encourage people, you know, they've tired of hearing, let's be patient. But I'm saying patience is a virtue. And I'm telling you, just wait, because every dog has its day. Now, we've been down way too long. And we've been pounding the pavement and stomping the yard saying, hey, we're still believers. And we are. That's why we're talking this morning. It's like I say, brothers, our day is coming. PK is going to bring the experience. You already see that the players are buying in. Yeah. Now we have some rookies there. So like I say, training camp is going to be where they really set the depth chart.
Exactly.
Shorts and T-shirts is one thing. When you put the pads on and guys start bumping each other on the reel, then that's when you separate first team, second team, and alternate.
Right.
That's where it is, man, when the rubber meets the road. So I want Raider Nation to watch how this training camp goes as opposed to previous training camps. Look at it this way. We don't have a quarterback controversy for once in a long time.
Yes. And that's another, you know, I'm very happy about Geno because I think that's another piece of it that's going to come into here that everybody's like, okay, well, we haven't had that type of quarterback play in a minute. I mean, the things that he can do, things that he can do when he's kept clean, which I think, you know, we'll be able to keep him cleaner than Seattle did. Yes. It's going to open some eyes. It's going to open some eyes this year. I really do think so.
Yeah. And his problem in Seattle wasn't the play calling, it was the offensive line. So when that comes up and people are like, oh, they're chopping, your game begins and ends right there. Those 6 inches between 300-pound lines, you know, that's where the game is won and lost right there.
Agreed.
Yep, exactly. And I'm glad you spoke on the quarterback and not having a controversy. How, you know, once you found out that we're out and we went out and traded for Geno, and we actually have now a good top 15 quarterback. What was your mindset? You know, we didn't make a big splash in free agency. He's probably considered the biggest splash we made in that whole time frame. He is on time. Yeah. And so what was your thought process once you found out, hey, Geno's going to be our quarterback moving forward into 2025 and 26, possibly even to 2027?
I love the announcement that we had traded for Geno Smith. Now, and I'm saying that from just being a fan of Geno's, wishing that we had a quarterback with his skill sets and watching him close when he was at Seattle, you know, because that's when he really got to start and show what he was made of. And he really basically carried that team himself because, like I say, they didn't have it. Their O-line was in shambles and their running game was suspect. So he had receivers and he used that. So we know he has that vertical game, which we haven't seen, and I'm going to say it, since Derek Carr left. And
that's true. That's true.
And we got, you know, he had receivers, so he used what he had. Yep. So now we've got weapons on this side, on this team, offensively that, brother, that's like a cornucopia of like choosing that's like flavors of coffee. You know what I mean? So having that much talent to pull from, and nobody's talking about the real gem to me, which is Chip Kelly. So nobody's really harping on him, and I think he likes it that way. And everything that they've done so far, except what they let us see, is getting back to the old Raider way. Keep everything in-house. When we open the barn doors, you're going to see what we've been working on. So, you know, versatility in that offense is really what's going to help us, I think, put more points on the board and keep the defense fresh. So when they come in, brother, it's time to hunt.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Sure. And I love the fact you brought up Chip Kelly because I think I said this a couple weeks ago that now let's just bring our own division into it, because hey, I mean, we got a team in our own division that's damn near in Super Bowl contention every year, right? This is the first year where in a long time where I feel like we can go into Arrowhead and I don't feel like we're severely outcoached. And I feel like we actually have coaches that can scheme with them on that other side over there and actually scheme for scheme. We can go back and forth in the game. But with Chip Kelly, we also added a new running back in there, right? Which you got to welcome him into the Raider Nation. And I'm very curious to see what your expectations of Ashton Jeanty in a Chip Kelly offense might look like. Because for me, they're quite high, right? They're quite high. And it's not because of everybody's talk and how everybody's talking about him, but it's because of his talent. And what I see, he should be doing certain things in this season to propel this running attack. I 100% believe that. And if I don't get certain things, I'm going to be a little disappointed. But how do you feel about him coming here, and what do you feel like he'll do?
I love how you segued into that, brother. Listen, this kid is a Mack truck, about my height, but he's a freaking Mack truck. I didn't want to insult him by calling him Little Beast Mode, and you've seen it out there. But when you look in the eye of the tiger, you can see it. This guy is hungry, and he's driven by something that you don't get from coaching. That's internal stuff. That heart is bigger than his physique. So solid as a rock. You've heard his own teammates touting about how he is. Now, I think Chip Kelly having receivers and running game, because we were sold on that running game. We couldn't even get 3 yards in 3 downs last season, which was total embarrassment. And I just couldn't get it. But it's X's and O's right there, and the X's was kicking our asses. And here's a guy that I feel seriously can make a difference in our offense. And on your offense, you want to be a balance. You want to be balanced so that you can be just like Neo in the Matrix. You can swing whichever way you need to, and with like a boxer with both hands just as hard as the other one. Be just like that. Those guys are difficult to beat. So that's what I'm looking for our offense, is to just go out there, set the tone, which we haven't done in a few decades. Just go out and set the tone from kickoff.
There you go. Yep. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for him. Like, for me, I want rookie of the year. I mean, that's what I want. I want in that conversation. He should be in that conversation. He has the talent for it. There's no doubts about that. So the thing is, for me, where a lot of people get mad at me, is where I say we didn't just sign Raheem Mostert to count blades of grass on the sidelines. Like he's here for a reason, and it's okay to say that even though I do like Jeanty's game, there are certain things that probably Raheem Mostert is more veteran in at this point right now, going into the season. That's fine, bro. This is year 1 for Ashton Jeanty. You know what I mean? This is the first year he has to come in, maybe see certain linebackers, certain DNs. I mean, the man got to see Khalil Mack his damn near first couple weeks. And we talking about going from Boise State, blocking all that, whatever, to now I got to block Khalil Mack just out of nowhere. Like, that's just not no easy feat. You know what I mean? So you probably need a veteran to come in and help you out a couple times on third down, maybe keep him fresh. I'm excited for Raheem Mostert being in the position he's in, because he don't have to take the starter load of carries. Now, I mean, his main thing has been health, right? And then for me now, I feel we can keep him healthy with Ashton Jeanty, and it's finally a good 1-2 punch, which we haven't had in a minute. I don't think the Raiders have had a good running back 1-2 punch in some years, honestly. In some years. Even when Josh was here, it was really just Josh. So now I feel like we got somebody to spell him. So I'm happy with Raheem Mostert for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about that 1-2 punch. You made me, I immediately flashed back to Tyrone Wheatley and Charlie Garner.
Yes.
Oh, man. That's going on. Yeah.
And by all accounts, our running attack was very deadly at that time when you had that 1-2, and you can bring those type of different skill sets in.
And shout out to that O-line. They were some maulers back then, and that was the epitome of what Raiders football was about. you're not going to get beat up from the defense, but the offense is going to tender you up real good.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
100%. Mhm.
There you go. Now,
I just feel that we're getting back to that, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And like you were talking about with Raheem. See, what I see that they've assembled is that mixture of veteran and rookie.
Yes.
These guys, from what I'm seeing, have set their egos aside. That's when a team really gels and that chemistry forms when you put egos aside. Leave that shit in your car.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So when you come in there, it's time to, and I've been using on social media, set the standard, and I directed that directly to Max and pass that down, set the standard. Nothing under this. Bring your best. And you're going to see that even from the youngsters. Some of these rookies are going to surprise some people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
After being one of them.
Yeah, for sure. And sticking on the topic of the rookies, obviously, I think we just came off probably one of the best drafts we had in a few years. We picked up a few receivers in Jack Bash, Dante Thornton Jr., but not only that, we picked up some O-linemen. I know you had a couple concerns on that particular area of our offense. And then on top of that, we went ahead and drafted a top corner in the 3rd round and Darian Porter and a few D tackles. Looking at the draft, how do you feel about it? Who do you think is going to make the big splash outside of Ashton Genty? We've heard a lot of great things about Dante Thornton and currently in this offseason and the mini camps. But obviously, like you said, once a pad comes on, it's a different story. But talk about this rookie class and everybody that we picked up. Who do you feel is going to be the standout for you?
Wow, the number one standout, I would have to put Ashton right there because he's going to touch the ball more.
Of course.
I think. If they're saying they're going to run the rock, this is just simple logic. They're saying they're going to run the rock, so he's going to be the guy. And that's going to basically set the tone for how this whole offense is going to go. Now, with good coaching on the defensive side from our opponents, they're going to try to shut him down. So that's when you start, like in spades, you start pulling out your trump cards and showing them who's really got the power. And that's what I say. Nobody's really talking about Chip how diverse his offense was at Ohio State. And they were very balanced with a average QB. I'm just going to put it like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, no knock, but it's a team game, and you saw everybody contribute. So we can duplicate just part of that, especially offensively, and I'm going to get to the defense, especially offensively. That keeps our D, like I said, resting and watching, chomping at their mouthpiece till their turn to get out there. And that's going to fire them up. The better the offense is, when that D hits the field, his ears pinned back, and let's bring it. As far as the standouts, I'm saying Dante Thornton with that height and speed. That's a weapon for Geno to just show what he can do. And who's going to keep up with 4.3 speed? And with his height, it's going to be like when we had Randy Moss in the offense. Even though it was up and down with his mentally as far as game plan, but he had the skills, and it's just throw it up there and I got it. So we haven't had that. To me, I retract. We had one in Devontae, but for whatever reason, he wanted out.
Right.
So we got, once you crack an egg, you got two options: let it rot or make an omelet. So
And we made an omelet out of it.
Yeah. Defensively,
for sure.
Rookie wise, I'm looking at this JJ Pegues kid because he's so versatile. And I watched Ole Miss because I was watching Jackson Dart during, last season. And like I say, that was a phenomenal pick to me. And what's the cornerback that we picked up? Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Watch his school a little bit. This guy is that Pete Carroll type build, and even him being fresh. And they're all going to have their welcome to the NFL moments. But their best chances of showing who they are is by being on the field. And I don't see them holding many of these guys out. They're going to get their feet wet early because as the season goes, those reps add up into experience, even short term. Those reps add up when they need them towards the end of the season when we start to set ourselves where we want to be playoff wise.
Yeah, 100%. And usually I'll be making a couple jokes right now. I see people talking about a couple guys in the chat. I'll keep it PG because I know Unc be around the team, so I'm gonna keep you in good light. Exactly. But usually Rundown will be making some jokes right now about certain
Gotcha.
But when we get into the rookies of it, right? When we talking about the class, Dante Thornton, I'm really intrigued, man. I really want this man to do good preseason. Because I say it all the time. Raider PTSD scares me sometimes, especially when we talk about, oh man, we got this big receiver. He's fast. He looked good in camp.
Yeah.
And then we get to preseason. We like, where's the receiver everybody talking about? Where is this receiver people are talking about? And it's happened multiple times with us as Raider fans. So I'm hoping that this is not one of those Darius Hayward-based situations, or you know what I mean? I think that there's somebody else. There's a lot of situations we can recall, right? Brian Edwards, a lot. Where we're like, all right, dog, we thought we had something, but this one right here, right? He does have all the tools you're looking for, so I'm really excited for him. But my excitement goes to that defensive side with Porter, and you just talked about him. The things he can do, right? The things he can do with only playing 2 years of that position. Yeah. I'm real intrigued with, and of course, right, we talk about the fit, and I think not a lot of people talk about fits when it comes with rookies. He's probably in the best fit he could possibly be in with that head coach. The fact that he got with Pete Carroll, he has to be thanking his lucky stars, bro, because that's the exact coach that loves that type of skill set, that type of makeup in the corner. He's big, fast, you know what I mean? So he's going to get worked with. I'm real intrigued with that. But I want to flip it to the offense real quick. I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm gonna flip it to the offense.
It's all good. Yeah.
Bring it.
Because we talking about the offensive line a little bit, right? Now, two-part question. One, do you expect anything from the rookies that we just drafted this year, right? Do you expect anything? Do you expect to see them? And two, what's your confidence level in the O-line period? Because we just talked about Ashton, right? Which, of course, I expect big things, but nobody likes to talk about the fact that that's a very dependent position too, because them 5 hogs on the front, they got to be right. If we talking about rookie of the year, he not just going to do that by himself. So how do you feel about the offensive line confidence as a whole? And do you think, or do you expect anything from the rookie offensive lineman we just drafted?
Love that question, brother. First of all, my confidence level as it is right now is probably 7. And that's pushing. And the reason I say that is, there's some uncertainty with Colton Miller, whether he's going to get his bag or not. That's a wily old vet, but let me tell you, you don't let that kind of talent leave the building. And especially when there's funds there to kind of lift his spirits up a little bit by showing some appreciation. Now, we know he was injured and, last season, and we watched him come back, but that was a slow process. And like I say, but the guy has proven that he's a champion and he's a captain for a reason. Yeah. JPJ, Lord, if we could get 4 more like him in every draft. Ooh. Oh my God. Yes, but he was just born. He fell into place, and there's something I live by I call God's time. This guy fell in the right place at the right time within the right system. And he's shown that this ain't just window dressing for him. This is how he is when he puts his shit on. I love that because as I call them gladiators, guys. There's a life on that field. That's why we're there rooting. There's a life off that field, and we wish them nothing but the best. But what we here wearing these caps for is when they're between the lines. That's when they do damage. And I'm so happy about him, man. But I'm going to jump over to my brother, DJ Glaze.
There we go.
I'm gonna cover it, bro. If we got time.
Oh yeah, we got
plenty of time.
We get into
this kid being a 4th round pick, and you don't even expect much than to be just a camp body or some depth. Circumstances as they were, this cat beat out. Well, Thornton had some kind of an injury,
right?
And so here was DJ's time. They just threw him in there. And I watched him close to see how he was because I met him at the camp that previous season. And I'm saying there's something about this kid. He's, some of them get caught up in the like deer in the headlights, man. Just like, oh, I made it. This guy still had a little something to prove. And you, like I said, when you look at a man's eyes, you can see his soul really if you know what you're looking for.
Oh,
I could see that hunger from him. Like, okay. But he came in and did a great job. We had Illumina there before. He was good in his day, but his day had come and gone.
Yep.
And then I think they kept him a year too long. And that's why I speak on Colton the way I do. You don't let talent like his and experience leave so somebody else can say, come on, Colton, how much? They wouldn't pay you what? Like we did with Josh Jacobs. Jacobs should have still been here. So that's just my opinion, guys. So come at me.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Looking back at it, right? Because let's be honest, if you were just going to draft a running back in the 6th round anyway, 2 years after you just let your all-pro running back go, you might as well just pay them. So then you got to be honest with that. But I'm so glad you said that, man, because nobody is talking about DJ Glaze taking that step. Everybody is saying JPJ, which rightfully so, right? Like we all think JPJ will take that Pro Bowl, maybe all-pro step. I'm expecting that. But with DJ, I expect a little bit of a leap too, man. I think he could come in and do some things. Let's not forget, man, when he came in, he did have to face some pass rushers. He did have to face some guys. Now, we're not going to sit here and say that he was perfect. Obviously, there's things he got to work on, things he's got to get better on. But when he came in, all I know is this. When JPJ finally got to center and DJ Glaze really was a mainstay at that right tackle, the offensive line trended upwards last season. Yes. Because we all remembered how the offensive line was before JPJ got to center and there was Andre James there, right? And we had Thayer over there on the other side. So then at that point, when they both got in there, the O-line changed. And that's no coinky dink. We all saw what it looked like. So I'm very happy with that.
We knew what time it was. Yeah, we knew what time it was with that.
But then I'm gonna ask this question because Unc is hitting all directions, and this is gonna really play into the offensive line because my concerns go into it's really not the tackles, to be honest. I'm cool with Colton, I'm cool with DJ, it's fine. It's that interior, right? And we going to them guards. We going to them guards. Yes, now it looked like they didn't give Kappa the spot. So be it, right? It is what it is. Let's hope they get something out of it. But my main concern has always been Dylan Parham. It's always been Dylan Parham. I know some people like Dylan Parham, but I'm of that mode right now. We didn't try him at 3 different spots: right guard, left guard, center. Damn near he came out in college as a center. You know what I mean? He hasn't really took hold of anything. You know what I mean? Like none of the positions seems like he's taking up. And now we're hearing Thayer Mumford is moved to guard to compete in there with Dylan Parham. So what when you hear that, right? Where does your mind go, Unc? What do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Nobody and this is boring to most people, but that old line is very important. And
it's crucial.
When you've got weakness at the guard, you've got your A and B, you got those 2 gaps where most teams were attacking us this past season.
Yes.
And we've watched, Andrew get pushed backwards, so to speak. I'm just going to use layman term, get pushed back into the QB. We saw Dylan gets the same thing. And I'm thinking these guys are playing out of position.
Yeah.
You need that beefier guard. That's
Yeah.
where your power is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we've kind of shied away from that. I reference back to the Wisniewskis and the Middletons and stuff like that. You know, you got to have those beef eaters up there. So don't be surprised if what's that Charles Grant kid?
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if he gets moved up on the depth chart. You know, and they may even try this kid, the rugby kid.
Toski, yeah.
Like I say, this kid's a fresh piece of clay, but physicality is his mainstay. Right there in the trenches, you got to be just a nasty mauler, man. I'm talking linemen that I know personally. You just got to have that attitude, man. I'm taking your lunch, you know?
Yep.
So that's going to be the spot that I'm watching more than the tackles. Like you said, it's the interior. Because and if JPJ has got two maulers on his flanks, game over.
Oh, yeah.
Game over.
Now, I'm glad you brought up Tassi. And I know some people are, they're a little weary on that because they don't know how the international player thing can go. And we don't know how much we're going to get from him anyway. Yeah. But there is examples of that working. I mean, the Eagles just won with Jordan Mailata, and he's an all-pro. He was an international player. That's so at the end of the day, we can get something out of that if the coaching is right, which let's hope it is.
Yeah, and they would say he's really progressing. But also, too, one name that we didn't mention, Caleb Rogers, somebody that we picked up in this draft as well. That's another person that also probably could be in contention for that guard position as well. So very excited to see who wins that other guard position. But obviously, we're coming off training. We're coming off the mini camp, the OTAs. Looking forward towards the training camp. Literally a week away. Let me ask you this: how are you feeling going into this training camp? Getting all these pieces. We addressed some issues on the defense. Kind of flipping the script a little bit, going over to the defensive side. Me and Ron talked about this probably the last 3-4 months about the linebacker room and the middle, especially that middle linebacker. We went out and got Jermaine Pratt to kind of fill in that hole. The DBs, right? The DBs have been a little bit of concern, and it was actually put out the other day. The DBs are actually ranked 30th in the NFL currently. That's with the addition of Eric Stokes, Jeremy Chin, Darian Porter, who's still improving. We don't know what he is as of yet. We have high hopes, but we don't know what he is yet. What are your thoughts about the whole DB room, the defense, with the addition of Jermaine Pratt at linebacker?
Personally, I like the addition of Pratt because, like I say, we watched him at Cincinnati, and because he wore my 57, so my eyes on him. He's a thumper, and he can cover, and that's what we've been lacking in our linebacker room for the last few seasons. Picking up Landon Roberts, another thumper. So again, that's that physicality that we lost when Spillane left for free agency. That hurt. That was another gut punch. But I get it. If they're not offering what a guy wants, hey, take care of your family. That's the business side of the game that us as fans don't really look at a lot. But like I say, they're trying to take care of families. It's not about what we want all the time. Because, so it like I say, it's a business. But we picked up Jeremy Chin, which I think is going to pay dividends, huge dividends. Now Polamalu, he's right in the mix there, but that nickel position is more of a concern for me. And they're talking about this Harper kid maybe stepping in, or either bringing in a free agency, which there's still time to do. So there's no panic. We got to see what we've got right now and see how that works out, because it's all chemistry. And you got pretty much a short time to develop that chemistry before the real game start. And, that's just the nature of today's game,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I see us still bringing in a veteran corner at some point.
Okay.
Just to solidify, because I think Porter is going to hold his own. Just on God-given talent and skills. Plus, he's very coachable from what I'm hearing. So Pete's going to take a good interest in him, I think, and really let him blossom and flourish.
Yeah.
What's our other corner that was? Oh man, I went brain.
Now I know he might be talking about everybody's favorite corner out here.
Yeah,
Ja'Cory Bennett. You talking about?
Thank you. Yes. I'm really pulling for this kid, man. Now he's not the biggest in stature, but that heart sometimes, wins out over size and talent. Just heart alone. So I'm just looking for this team to show some grit. I mean, the pieces of gel, and that's what I tell when I talk to people and all of you listening, relax and kind of enjoy the process. That's when you enjoy being a fan. It's like all of this is on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when the pads go on, that starts to separate. And you really see guys for what they can all contribute, but there is a hierarchy.
Right.
And that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? So, and it ain't always about who's getting paid the most. Some guys, like I say, watch some of these rookies come out and surprise some veterans. And I'm watching Kappa to see if he's just kind of been graduated there, but I'm going to see if he holds his spot.
Yeah, that's my interesting. Me too. That's what I would be interested to see. Now, you touched on something, you just preached on something, that I think on this show, on my solo show, I've been preaching for months and months and months. And you can attest to it more than a lot of us can. I hate when, as a fan base, right? And this is, if you're a Raider fan, you know exactly what I'm going to say. As a fan base, we see a hole in the roster, or we see like, all right, well, this ain't really, you know what I mean? This kind of needs to be fixed a little bit for the season starts. And lo and behold, when the season starts, that very problem that all the fans were saying in training camp in the off season, that's a problem, is an actual problem, right? And it's reminding me right now, the nickel position, right? The nickel position is reminding me a lot of that, where I think months and months and months, a lot of us are saying, okay, I know some of y'all like Darnay Holmes, but for 17 games now, I don't know. And then now you're telling me Jeremy Chin is playing nickel. Why? Right? You know why is he doing that when we know he should be doing the linebacker safety role, right? Which is cool.
Strong safety.
So my thing is, we see it all coming down the pike, right? We see right now that nickel is a problem. Do you think it'll be solved? Do you think that they'll solve it, or do you think that they're just going to say, all right, man, we're just going to roll into the season this year and it is what it is?
There's a possibility because they see them more close than we do. But when we're there, and I appreciate you for studying the game, we see holes. But you know that old adage: if we start listening to the fans, and I get I get that. But my old eyes see it as a game. I ain't thinking about pay scale, nothing. I'm seeing talent. That's called the eye test. Exactly. I'm seeing talent, like you say. You see a hole when it's there. Now, to discredit us, they'll never say, oh, well, the fans brought out this. They hear our cries, trust me, because I've been bargaining for years about weaknesses that I see. I'm like, dude. But
it's right there. Like we literally see it right here. Like,
you see it live. But like I say, brother, there's still time. And they're still funded. So when those two are there, ain't no excuse.
Yes.
If you see something, fix it.
Yes. Exactly.
If you're serious about moving this organization forward. And I'm gonna tap on this. I'm gonna tap on this one real quick. Having TB12, which I never thought I'd say in a lovingly way, that is a nice addition. That's a nice addition to the front office.
Yeah.
Or to ownership. To ownership. But just having his expertise there and his eye for the little things, because these winning teams, they cover the little things that most teams, we'll get by. We're tired of putting Band-Aids on gunshot wounds. It's time to sew that shit up and let's go. So
go.
Exactly.
I'm getting pumped as I'm talking to you guys about this. I'm just waiting to see what happens, like you say, when training camp really gets going and gets heated up. And that's when the real war starts with these hungry dogs. I'm just calling them all, with these hungry dogs that we have. And the coaching staff that we got knows how to poke them all and get the best out of it, man. So just that assembly of that is why we go into Allegiant Stadium to see that, what they call like a symphony on the field, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Raider Ben asked this if the cornerback room for us is ranked 32nd right now, which, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, it's just no pads have been put on. It is what it is.
Yeah,
we'll
30,
see,
32nd.
This is all preseason rankings. But it's because we got rookies and we got guys that are not all the way proven. You know what I mean? So then there's kind of that going into there. So we'll see what happens there. But the fact that, and I'm gonna flip it over to the defensive side, because you're talking about Chip Kelly and nobody's talking about Chip Kelly, right? And then it just seems like now we just go into the win that PG stayed. And from the national media, it seems like a lot of people don't care that PG has remained, right? And it's like, all right, Pete Carroll's here. It is. Everything's gonna get changed. But really, PG has already kind of been riding the ship for a minute with his defense. I mean, just last year. Let's just keep it honest with ourselves. We all watch Raider games. If the offense was worth any damns last year, we probably would have won more games, because even with all the injuries, PG still had that defense rocking and rolling. If I don't even forget, I go back to the Buccaneers game. We had like damn near 5 sacks on Baker Mayfield and that starting unit. So that's all, bro. We were rolling, and he's going to continue to have us rolling schematically. But how big do you think the impact is of keeping PG? What do you think? How big that impact is?
Keeping him, to me, was off the charts, man. That's you always hear about continuity and stability. Well, these guys that we have right now, barring the rookies and the vets that we brought in, have played under him for how many seasons? 3. So the terminology and all that, the communication is there, so they have a synergy of what he wants and how he plans to run it. And the best props that I can give to PG is that he knew how to adjust as the game goes. We didn't have that with a lot of other defensive coordinators. That was our biggest weakness. We'd come out and we never adjusted. And so teams are just like, damn, we're just going to run the same stuff then, because we never adjusted and stopped. And I give old Belichick a nod, because he watched it like a chess match. Okay, this is your strong. It's chess on the field, basically. You know what their strengths are. You stack to try to nullify that. And when a team is balanced, they can, like I say, a boxer with 2 good hands, they can mess you up, brother. So that's what I'm looking forward from the Raiders. And as far as the rankings, let me say something, guys. I really don't give a rat's ass about what they say about us. We got to have enough faith in what this means to us, and right here, to just like almost say, F what you think about us. We're gonna show you who we are. And once we get back to that, you're going to see Raider Nation locking arms like I've been preaching for decades. Lock arms, man, because it's us against everybody else.
And we'll get into it later, man, because I definitely want to ask you a couple questions, because I've always asked this: how do we engage the younger fans? Because it seems like we're not getting any, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it, and we all understand it. But we'll talk about that a little later. But definitely, Jay. I mean, whatever
for sure. And really quick, salute to about 100 people in the building. Appreciate everyone pulling up with us on this Saturday morning. To go ahead and tie some Raider ball, getting into this training camp. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, and Run knows what I'm talking about here. Let me ask you this: does Christian Wilkins making it in training camp? In your opinion, do you think we're going to see him put the pads on, or do you think he's going to go ahead and take that surgery and be out for the majority of the season, and not for all of 2025? What are your thoughts on that?
I love that you address, like you say, the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. We can't talk about training camp without addressing that.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, but and that's rightfully so, because like I say, we expected a lot once we got this guy in, and we saw what he could do while he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dominant force, and being next to Max, that they were wreaking havoc over there. But here's the thing: there's two options. He may choose not to do the surgery and try to see if he can play through it, and we may not see him till week 7 or 8 if he lets it heal. Then it's what condition is he in when he comes in. Mm-hmm. So if he elects to do the surgery, which I'm gathering that he's looking for second opinions, if he does the surgery, he's pretty much gone for this season.
Yep.
He's pretty much gone.
I've said that multiple times because I know a lot of people are just saying you can just throw him out there. No, you cannot just throw not no 300-pound human being with a foot injury. You can't do that, man.
With a bone fracture, with a toe fracture now.
No, exactly. You cannot do that.
That's where he generates his power from right there. So
exactly. Mm-hmm.
You got to be patient with that. And I think they have the mindset in the front office. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Initial reaction, though.
That's a lot.
And I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's a lot of money invested in this guy. So we ain't throwing him on the trash heap just yet, because that's going to hit us in the pocket. But I'm saying to the nation that's all upset and panicking, don't panic. Don't panic. It's time for one of these young guys to step the hell up.
See, I was going to ask you exactly that right now, because, okay, first of all, initial reaction. What would your initial reaction be if it came out tomorrow? All right, Christian Wilkins is going to get his foot injury, and the Raiders feel like it's better for him just to not play 2025 and play in 2026. What would your initial reaction be off of that?
Somber, but let's look ahead. Let this guy heal, because we know he's a force. We know he's a force. Like I say, you saw in the draft, they focus on the defense quite a bit, that line quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So there's talent there. So I'm telling guys, relax. Even if we got to throw some youngsters in, let them get their feet wet. That's just going to make them better as the season progresses.
There you go. And then if he doesn't play this year, let's just see how much, like you're saying, progression we get out of the young dudes. Because what if we get big progression out of them young dudes? Then by 2026, we say, okay, now we can bring this dog back in and add that into what we just saw over this last year. So I'm with you there.
Exactly. We have enough depth where, like you said, JJ Pegues, Tonka Hemingway, these guys could be a great addition. It'll be those diamond in the roughs that we went out and got, right? So we're and then mind you, we haven't even talked about Adam Butler, who came off a solid season last year. Lualu, another guy who had a solid season. So the trenches, I don't feel that we're gonna take, if anything, maybe even a slight step back, but we're that front four is still gonna eat. It's still gonna eat a lot.
As long as Kuntz can eat still, right? As long as Kuntz doesn't come off that injury and he looks weird, as long as he's good, we'll be fine.
Fire. Yeah. Squeeze them.
Yeah, that's it. We just and of course, we can't talk about the D line before asking about the anomaly. And when I say that, Jay know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know what's up with this.
Number 9. All right. We're not even gonna call it by the name no more, bro. Number 9. We all know what needs to be done this year, dog. And he, to me, is the key. Because if he ends up being good, right, and he turns himself into something, that just makes this D-line damn near top 5 D-line, in my opinion. But if we get what we've always gotten these last 2 years, right, and Christian Wilkins is out too, that's not good enough. That is not good enough for us if Christian Wilkins is not playing. Number 9 got to do something. Where are you on that? Where's your confidence level? Because I
Yeah.
see a lot of people in the nation, like my boy Cheeto just said, damn near believing that he's gonna make a leap is like believing in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. So at this point, bro, like, how do we change it? What do we do?
I'm not quite that bad on him on number 9, but this is a make it or break it season, in my opinion. This is make it or break it because this regime has no ties to him.
Nope, you're right. Correct.
So and that's gonna let you know what they think. They're watching him because of that. They really have no ties to him. I gave him a pass the first year just because he came in injured.
Yeah.
So then last year I'm thinking, okay, make some strides, which he did towards the end of the season. So that means he's getting healthier. His speed is coming because to me he wasn't aggressive enough, and that's just me looking at a DN.
Yes.
He wasn't aggressive enough. What's the kid 97 was just taking his lunch as far as coming off that edge with hair on fire. Yeah. So to me, it's a make it or break it season. I think the kid knows it. I'm pulling for him personally because of stature. That's a lot. That's a load once he learns, puts everything together. He's going to be a load to handle.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you, do you see Tyree possibly moving to tackle? Because we know he's had some trouble progressing in that edge position. Could tackle be the new spot for him? We know he can play it.
You could put him there in spots, but I'm saying his standalone position. Like you're not talking about putting Max at D tackle. Max is a defensive end. Tyree is a defensive end. He just got to grow into himself and unlock this.
Yes. And even if we do just put him at D tackle, the main problem with me is always, like you're saying, he's not aggressive enough, and I'll even put it to a step further. It looks like he just thinks too much on the field. It looks like he's always thinking about what the move should be. After you do your initial rush, it should be simple, right? We work the hands and we get it in like that. But it always looks like he's thinking about it. Yeah. Even if we put him at D tackle, that's still going to be an issue if he does not correct that. So, like you said, he was good against the run. I will give him that. He's good against the run. But where my thing is, he needs to even upgrade that, right? Because if you're going to tell me that you're not going to get a lot of pass rush in there, right, then I need to see tackles for loss. I need to see you in the backfield. I need to see you killing running back sometimes if that's going to be your bread and butter. I'm with you there. It's just last year when Max got hurt and, Kuntz ain't there, I might not have been the only one. I'm like, all right, come on now. Come on, Tyree. Let's do it. Like, this is it. You got everybody out, bro. We are looking at you. You need to be that guy to provide pressure. But now we're looking at Caleb on Chason getting signed off the street, right? He getting signed off the street, and he getting more pressure. So now it's like, all right, bro, we need to see it this year. This year needs to happen. So I'm with you. Maybe we can't throw him all the way away before we see him play, right? Before we see him play. But I agree. This is the year. It needs to happen this year.
And let me say something real quick about what you just said. We're in such a instant gratification phase that we don't value talent. It's do something right now. And we've seen some of the greatest Hall of Famers take a few years to gain their stride. But brother, once that coal gets hot, damn it, get out the way, because it's burning up anything it touches. So and that's why you heard me say patience early, because what I'm hearing is a lot of panic and, let's just throw this guy away. We've done that for 2 decades, thrown guys away too early, kept some guys too long. We just got to get this shit right, and that's where the consistency comes in. We just can't do that. We're on the cusp of having a playoff team, which is all we want. Get us in the playoffs, anything can happen. That's a new season. So we're right there. But if we start shitting the bed, just tossing shit out like a rummage sale, then we're doing what? Starting over.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
We got a heads up this year because we starting over, but it's who we brought in to put into that soup pot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
good ingredients right there, man. So the gumbo's gonna be awesome if we let it simmer.
There you go.
Yeah, and speaking out on that, and adding pieces, adding more flavor to the soup. My guy, shout out to my guy at God Family Raiders. Salute to
Appreciate
him for being a member for 1 month. He asked, Raiders waiting for cuts to add players. So that is another thing. Obviously, with training camp, you're gonna have cuts. Not everybody's gonna go ahead and make the squad. Not everybody is always gonna fit into certain systems. There's guys gonna be cut from other teams that might be a better fit. Do you think that is the angle that the Raiders, that the coaching staff is kind of waiting on as well? Because we thought that we're going to be a little bit more moves come June 1st that didn't quite happen. We just got Jermaine Pratt, but now we're heading into training camp. There's going to be some cuts. Do you think that's going to be the play there?
You know why I'm so confident, guys, is because what you just spoke on, there's still time. Even in as much as it's condensed, there's still time if you don't panic. And these guys are watching, trust me. I think they've upgraded our scouts, and you can see it. They're bringing in guys that fit us. So these guys are watching because injuries will happen. There's going to be that separation once the pads go on, and there's going to be a crop of guys cut. Well, other teams are cutting guys that will fit us, and that's opportunity. And that's all these players can ask for is opportunity.
Yep, exactly.
Because that's just the nature of the game. Some guys are going to be bagging groceries or waiting on some injury where their phone rings. That's just the nature of it, and that's the beauty of it. With the injuries, that game keeps rolling, bro.
For sure. Real quick, let me kind of pivot to this. This actually came out yesterday. Brock Bowers named the best tight end in NFL by coaches, execs, scouts. Shout out to our guy Raider Resistance with the post. If you don't follow him, make sure you guys head on over to IG, give him a quick follow. But this came out yesterday. So unequivocally, he is the best tight end in the NFL. Knowing that with this new offense, how do you feel moving forward? Do you think this is going to be the type of offense where it's almost a night and day from last season? And how do you see us putting up points every game? Because honestly, I think that's on everybody's mind is how does this actually translate to like winning games and putting points on the board? Because we struggled on that area last year. Like Ren said, the defense was good. But we just damn near struggled putting up points and doing anything offensively.
Bottom line, it comes down to play calling and scheme. And we saw it last year. It was just like we were trying to fight ourselves out of a wet paper bag, and we couldn't do that. I'm just keeping it real. It was so disappointing to see how it, and we couldn't change. We couldn't change up. So you got to have a plan, and that's why I say I'm confident because these guys have a plan, and they're going to execute it. We've got so much to choose from talent-wise, and we touched on that earlier in the show. There's so much talent here that Chip Kelly can pull from that where he can test out the opposition. He can test them to see. This guy can play underneath, middle of the field. Hey, he's the king. So if we get some guys that can stretch it, what does that do for your run game? There's alleys all over the place where you can run jet sweeps or whatever you want to do, But I'm more into that power game. And with these guys being occupied, I'm talking about Brock, Jacoby Myers, Trey Turner, and Dante Thornton. With all that speed and versatility going vertically, and this guy can cut across, who's going to cover all of that? And especially who's going to cover all of that coming at you that fast? So by them ranking this guy number one, they're tipping their hat to him as a rookie now. So just to see his game improve a little bit, that's almost scary.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Plus with a solid QB giving them the rock.
That was going to be the next little portion and piece. For me, I mean, this like saying water's wet. I mean, at the end of the day, I already know this because there's no other tight end that can do what this dude can do. Now, yes, there are going to be some other tight, like if you talk about Kittle and maybe some other ones, they block a little bit better, but lining them up out wide, right, and catching passes. Travis Kelce probably the only other one, and at this point, he's on his way out. So there's only one other dude that you can compare him catching passes to now, right? Even looking at Geno, let's put it to the Geno perspective. He never had no player like this. He has never had no tight end like this. In all of he had DK Metcalf, sure, and he had all this other stuff, but this is different when you have a tight end that's that reliable, that's explosive, right? I mean, we always look at damn near tight ends as a certain quarterback's best friends. I mean, you look at Mahomes, and I mean, what is he without Kelce for real? If you look at it for real, even our new ownership, what is Tom Brady without Gronkowski? What is that? You know what I mean? If we're looking at certain guys, they take advantage of the tight end, and I think now Geno's never had no tight end where he can look at and be like, oh, this dude probably on 90% of his routes, he's winning. 90% of his routes, he's probably gonna win. Now you take that and you add it with some of the consistency out wide, right? You talk about Jacoby, 0 drops over there, right? And that's good. The speed we have with Trey and the speed we got with Dante now that can stretch the field. And now you add Ashton in there that can do the play action, right? Now you have to worry about what we're doing running the ball. What we saw last year, I think we could even see an even better version this year. And that's even scary. The man had 3 quarterbacks last year. 3 quarterbacks and still did what he did. If we can even get, say he multiplies what he did last year by 2, dog, it's over. It's over with, bro. There's nobody guarding this man at all. So, and I want to know your take on this, Unc. I've said it for a while, and Jay knows what I'm going to say. My hot take now, and I think I'm cemented. The offense is going to be better than the defense this year. I think the offense is going to lead us actually into these games, and I think they're going to keep us afloat a little bit. Not saying the defense is going to be terrible, but I just think there's a little bit more explosiveness, a little bit more veteran leadership on that offense that can make it gel a little bit quicker. I mean, what's your takes on that?
And what you're speaking of, brother, is a power shift.
Yep.
It's and you've seen these teams that dominate. Look at the Eagles. Their offense, ball control, slow the game down. Yeah, it may be a little bit methodical, but you do whatever it takes to win. What's our motto? Just win. We don't give a damn as fans what it looks like. Now, if you want it to be a 7-on-7, then you need to go watch some flags somewhere. But but I'm just saying, we were just talking about Brock. Yeah. With all of this offensive power, we're going to expose any defense's weaknesses right away. Yep. And that's when I mentioned setting the tone. That's how you do it. You go on the attack. You're not waiting for them to see how they're going to play you. You give it to them. And that's getting back to the old Raiders ways when you had your Stablers back there and your Plunkett's back there. Yeah. They took it to people. Yep. The defense, 100%. The offense.
100%.
Yeah. Really quick, shout out to our guy Cheeto.
$5 holler in the building, man.
Yes, sir. Browers is definitely number one name. Either tight end could put up those numbers with no run game and trash QBs. We have
no other tight end is doing what he did last year. I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly.
Zero.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shout out to our guy Cheeto with the $5 special. Appreciate you.
Like I said, there's only one other tight end in the league, bro, that you look and can compare the receiving prowess, and that's Travis Kelce. But at this point, what I saw from Travis last year, it's slowly dwindling. It's not the same as it was for him last year. So now it's got to be Brock.
You know what too is with Travis? People are being more physical with him. For years, they just let him run free, and we're guilty of that too.
Yep.
Put a hat on his ass, he plays different.
My God, there's so many years. You go back, you like, why is this dude just having a free release? Just swivel around the defense, dog. But the times we finally put some hands on him, oh, lo and behold, we win some games in Arrowhead and all the extra.
Yeah, for sure. And we haven't even talked about the other tight end in Michael
Yeah.
Mayer. This is our guy, Leo's guy. He loves Notre Dame. So shout out to our guy here. But
Real quick before we do that, we got a $2 holler in the building. Want to bring
$2
that up
holler,
real
yes,
quick
sir.
by Rosetown native. He said, "Thanks for preaching to the congregation,
Yes,
And we appreciate
yes,
having
sir.
him here, man. He preaching to
Yes.
us today, man.
Taking time out of his day to be with us and talk some Raider ball. And I think that the nation doesn't really get to see that side to really like know that, hey, at the end of the day, you're just a fan just like all of us, and we love talking ball.
Trust
So
me.
yeah,
Trust me.
appreciate you for sure. But we haven't even talked about Michael Mayer, the other tight end, and he's been in the rumor talks all off season long, and I'm glad we still have him, and he's not going to go anywhere, at least for the time being, for the foreseeable future. What kind of an impact do you think he's going to make? Are we going to see? Do you feel that we're going to see a 2 tight end set? And what type of year you think he's going to have? Most likely being here a full season. I know he had some issues off the field last season. We only saw him for half of the season. So what's your outlook on him?
Again, we don't appreciate what we have.
Yep.
Talking about running, 2 tight end sets, no problem. Running the ball, that's too much power coming at you. And this guy is a natural blocker. I happened to watch him when he was at Notre Dame, and just a specimen. So if this is right, you already know his heart's there. The physicality is coming. That's what I'm gonna say. The physicality is coming to get you. So you're talking about versatility, man. I'm just bubbling now, just thinking about the potential of our offense. We weren't this excited last year because it was helter-skelter.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. The quarterbacks didn't make us excited at all. I mean, we all kind of knew what it was. Like we all try to window dress it a little bit, but we all knew what time it was. And you let me know if maybe I'm off track, but really, I see people kind of look at Michael Mayer a little bit the way, not all the way how we look at Tyree, but sort of like, all right, it's kind of year 3 now. You know what I mean? And we haven't seen him finish a season yet. Now, it hasn't been because of injury. It's been because of other things off the field. And we always want him to get that right first. I mean, for me, bro, like football comes second. If your mental's not right, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Take care of your mental.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But if he's right, I'm right with you, man. Like the possibility that we can have with him and Brock, because let's not forget, I mean, coming out of college, when we got him in the second round, I was super excited. People was talking about baby Gronk at that point. But I mean, none of us knew exactly what was coming down the pipe the year after. I mean, nobody can predict you get this type of, talent at the tight end position after just drafting some dude like that last year. So nobody could predict that. But now that we have both, what you can do with them, bro, like what you said is very crucial. The blocking, right? The physicality. Now, if I even wanted, I could say, hey, well, Mike, you can go ahead and play traditional tight end. I don't even have to technically do 2 tight end sets. I just put Brock out there as a slot. You know what I mean? I'll put him as a slot receiver and let Mike do the traditional tight end stuff. We can do so much stuff with them too. Mm-hmm. I'm not on trading him. Are you still, if they were to think about trading him, or are you with that, Unc, or are you like, nah, I don't want to trade him no more?
I would not trade him. That's we just touched on that a few minutes ago. You get rid of guys too soon.
Exactly.
He's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah, he is.
And look,
hey, that's the advantage when you have talent like this on rookie deals.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got 3 or 4 years to see what you got, and if you need to tweak something, hey, before it starts to get expensive, that's when you go all in. So these next 2 or 3 seasons, I think you're going to see a big push from this organization. Like say, coming out the gates, like they're on to something, they're after something, and let that outside noise bring us closer. I don't know how else to say it. Let that bring us closer, because what they're saying is to get us swinging like blades of grass in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
When you're strong like steel, you cut through blades of grass.
Yeah.
All that's outside talk, man. I kind of let it like juice me up. Like, yeah, keep talking. I'm going to show you. So if these guys take on that mentality, and Pete Carroll has that mindset, he is a competitor to the core. What does he say? Compete every day. That's what we're waiting to see. Compete every day. Your job is not secure.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that, man. There's so many Raider teams that we didn't have that energy. Where it's like, well, everybody, I know my job is good. I'm a coach and training camp. No. There's only probably like 3 guys on this squad that have a secure position. Everybody else need to be working, in my opinion. But hey, appreciate Raiders Food Chris, man. He gives us a little shout out, man. It says great show. Violator, you are the face of the Raider Nation. I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah, shout out to my guy, Raiders Fool Chris, for being a member for 2 months now. Appreciate you, my guy. And my guy also, God Family and Raiders says Chip Kelly runs more than 50% of the time in his offense. Does that continue in his first year as Raiders offensive coordinator with AJ and RM and AJ RM projection? Shout out to my guy, God Family Raiders, for the $5 special.
I mean, I'm gonna take it off what Unc said earlier, man. I mean, they told us that it's going to be ground and pound, right? I 100% expect. I 100% expect them to run the air out of the football this year, which I'm fine with. I've been saying, Genty needs to get in that rookie of the year conversation, no less. That's where I'm at, rookie of the year, and with that, that's looking around like 1,400 rush yards. That's not even adding the receiving. What I'm expecting from him, right? The receiving game give me about 400 more. Oh, look at that. That's almost 1,800, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm at with him. I kind of want 1,700 at the minimum with Ashton Genty. That's all purpose. For Mostert though, he can give me a solid like maybe 500 yards, 600 yards. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's okay for me because he's not the workhorse. We all understand that he's second fiddle right now. But if he gave us 600 yards as RB2, I mean, that's good enough. I ain't gonna cap like that. That's a great season as a second running back. Damn near 600 yards, we can work, and that's not even counting the touchdowns. So I definitely I expect good things for them.
Plus his receiving ability too. So
there you go. There you go. They can do some work.
We've got some talent. We've got some talent. I just hope we are patient. I keep saying that again, patient and vigilant, and let this thing blossom, man. It's gonna be beautiful to watch.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think? Let me ask you. What do you think he's gonna? How many yards do you think he's gonna go ahead and rush for, in your opinion?
Who are we talking about? Ashton?
Ashton. Yeah. Ashton.
1,500, 1,600. That should be easy.
There you go. That's what's up.
Hey, dog.
I'm just saying that's keeping it. That's not going too high.
No.
Where you just like tripping, and anything under, like I said, anything under 1,000 is, I won't say a bust, but would be a disappointment.
It'll be malpractice, man. Let's keep it a B. It's malpractice.
Yeah.
We were talking about,
what are we doing here?
Thank you. And look, and it's not his fault, really. It's more fans' fault. But it's like you putting him in the breath of the God. We talking about Barry Sanders. We putting him in the breath, right? Like at this point, come on now. We expect greatness now. We can't before the draft say, oh man, this dude's greatness. He's one of a kind. And then as soon as this is what I hate about Raider fans. As soon as we draft him, oh man, I don't expect that much, man. 1,200 yards. What happened to all the greatness we was just talking about? If we expect greatness before that, I expect greatness for damn sure when he put the jersey on. 100%, bro. And 100%. That's not to say that's not to be disrespectful or nothing like that. That's big ups, bro. We expect that type of talent from this man. Say what you want, bro. Like I see that talent and I watch the film. Yes, 1,500 yards. First, that's not big. That's not a lot. That's what his talent dictates. And that's what we own.
Yes.
And that breaks out to like 85 yards per game, or around 1,500 yards.
Bro, that's nothing. That 85 yards a game is nothing.
Season.
That's not impressive.
We're playing more games now. We're playing more games now that we did, a decade ago or even 2 decades ago. So it's definitely feasible to hit
85
1,500
yards a game. Hell yeah, that's
Yeah.
feasible.
And to those who you were saying were, like I say, Jekyll and Hyde with it, you've got to strengthen that faith. That's when you see people back and forth, their faith is not solid. You've got to have so much faith that you speak shit into existence.
There you go. There you go. I mean, last year we kind of did it too. There's certain people that were like, oh man, well, we got Brock, and I know initially we were like, we didn't need to draft him. But a lot of us, after we watched the film, we were like, oh, well, it is what, what I mean? This dude's probably going to be good. But I know we got scared during training camp too, because we heard too much talk, right? We heard, and that's kind of how we're positioning ourselves as fans, because of so many years of downtime where we start to hear something good and we're like, I don't know. Yeah, man. So, I mean, I think that's kind of what happened too this year. I mean, they talk about him in such great light. I mean, you have to understand. People got to understand. Some of y'all was putting him with Barry Sanders, bro. That is, if he don't achieve that, bro, some of y'all are going to look a little foolish, because that is God tier, bro. That's God tier of running backs. That's a lot to put on somebody first year, dog. Like, that's a lot to put on. No matter how good I think he is, come on, dog. That's a lot. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do have to stay, like you're saying, strengthen that fact to say, okay, even if it's not all the way Barry Sanders tier, we can have, like he said himself, our own Ashton Jeanty, our own running back, where people say, nah, we need to get that. You know what I mean? We need to get a Jeanty. We need to find a Jeanty. So, hey, if we thought one thing before the draft, continue that thinking, man. He's going to come in here and change the running game and be a top 5 running back, like people were saying.
There you
go. That's what I want.
Yep. I can see that too. But like I say, you just have to have that. We got this saying since I've been, keep the faith. And that's when times look dim. That's what I say. We grab each other's arm and become stronger. We've got to get into practice of doing that and bring the young. And I'm speaking to the youngsters. Come along with us. Hey, we're just not spouting all this shit just to, warm the atmosphere up. No. This is a belief that we have because we've seen them be at greatness.
Yeah.
Whatever threw us off the path, I think this ship is on point now to get what we want to get.
That puts us exactly well. I think our last segment, Jay. I think that segues us into the last segment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it has been great talking ball with you, appreciate you. And I wanted to get the side of you for the fans, for the nation, to really get to know, hey, you love talking ball and you're just a fan at the end of the day, right? But I want to go ahead and shift over at the end, usually towards the second half or towards the end of the show. We like to go ahead and kind of put the spotlight on our guests. So it is time for the Spotlight Meet Our Guests, where we take time to go ahead and meet our guests. And today, obviously, it is none other than the Violator, Wayne Marbury, in studio chopping up with us. So we have some questions for you, right? So let's go ahead and kind of start from the beginning. Let me ask you this: how long have you been a Raider fan? And I know you touched on it. We're backstage. What really was a trigger point that really made you fall in love with the silver and black? Was it like any specific moment in time?
I've been a Raider fan 55 years this year. What drew me to the Raiders was the colors, silver and black. None of this loud ass rainbow shit. It was silver and black because, I'm into medieval lore and knights in armor. Okay. Whether I'm weird or whatever, that's what I loved, and I still watch to this day and stuff like that. And then that 2 swords and a one-eyed pirate, that means we are going to war.
Yes.
Nothing else. We ain't selling Girl Scout cookies. We going to war. So that's what I fell in love with. And then when I found out they were from California, thus I began visualizing myself in California at the games. So, 55 years later, man, here I am at the pinnacle of it as being a fan. But like I say, it's just what the Raiders meant. All those slogans back in the day that we don't see anymore, like seek and destroy, take no prisoners, commitment to excellence is still around. But the other ones, because of the way society is, I think the front office shies away from exhibiting those banners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody will be offended, but that's still in our hearts. That should be our battle cry every time. And when we see each other, it's, again, I keep saying it's like a fellowship. It's a family reunion,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let me ask you this, to go off of that, right? Because we're gonna go back and forth for our questions. Now, we kind of touched on it earlier. The younger fans and getting younger fans. I've noticed since I've started podcasting, there has not been many guys around my same age group or even younger talking about the Raiders. And now, what do you think we can do, right? As one of the faces of the nation, as one of the voices, what do you think we can do to try to engage some of the younger fans, man? Because right now it seems like we're at a tipping point, right? Where it's like, okay, there's a lot of kids coming out. There's a lot of whatever that will not probably choose us if we don't start winning or whatever the case. And then by that, we're going to start dwindling out. What do you think we can do to start getting the younger fans in?
I love that sentiment that you just, showed right there. But it's a simple process. You just keep planting seeds. And you guys have heard me say this for years. It's about planting seeds. These youngsters are watching, and it's how we carry ourselves that give all of this some credibility. All you can do is show them that enthusiasm that we have, and this shit is infectious. There's some kid listening right now, or that'll watch this later, that may like the colors like I did.
Right.
But they don't know the history because, and like you say, the millennials have seen none of this shit that I've been talking about, the 3 Super Bowls. They have not seen it. So I get skepticism, but anytime I get to express that passion, I don't care if you've seen it, have enough faith in it to say that it's going to happen. You're going to see it in your lifetime. That opens up a whole nother generation of Raider fans who share that same battle cry with us, because they've seen it now. Even if we come back to, I'll just put it this way: if we hit the playoffs and remain prominent and become a threat in the league, it's easier for these guys to come on. But we don't want this type of fan, and I call them bandwagons.
Exactly.
Don't put your shit away because you're ashamed when we do bad.
Right.
Wear your shit in spite of the team's record. Excuse me, I got choked up almost. Wear your stuff with pride because this is a lifestyle. You choose to rock with it or get the hell out of the way.
I'm right with you, man, because at this point, I mean, like, it seems like a lot of people have said, I'm going to have to put that away. And to your point, my pops have seen, the playoff success in the Super Bowl. My greatest Raider achievement I can remember is 2016. And that was that's it. That's the only thing I can remember of us really getting in there in that playoff. We went to the playoffs a couple years ago. But for me, I think Jay has seen a little bit because he's a little older.
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah,
I've seen a little bit. Yeah.
That's why I always say, like, I always feel like I got to start bringing in some younger fans because everybody asks me, why are you a Raider fan? Well, like you're saying, it's a little bit of stubbornness. I don't give a damn, bro. I'm going to wear it regardless, bro. I'm going to wear my team regardless.
Renegade.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it is what it is, bro. And when we finally do get good, you can't say I'm a bandwagon at all, dog. I was wearing this. We was 2-10, and Latavius Murray was running down the Chiefs' ass in the rain. I remember that 100%. You feel what I'm saying? So at this point, bro, that is stubbornness, but I'm right with you. We got to try to go ahead and try to get some of these younger fans. But once we start winning and show our dedication, I think it'll all come.
Yeah, just gave me goosebumps, man. See, that's passion. See, passion will do that. If you have any inkling of coming over, speeches like this, and continue to do this. And I want to applaud both of you for keeping your platforms positive and inviting. You know what I'm saying? So you said, how do we get these youngsters? Now, as they come along and they start to watch this, they'll hear the stories. And like I say, you share those positive stories that you have and those experiences that you have. You know, I feel like an old grandpa sometimes, but the blessing for me has been there to see these wins and when the team was dominant and just feared around the league. I saw all of that, and it's like nothing could ever sway me from these colors. Nothing, because I believe in that. So when you get other people and you bring them along, put it this way, your fandom grows, and there's levels of fandom. Let me put that out there. There's levels of fandom. I'm probably on that level where you would want to lock them up away somewhere. That's how sick I am with it. But I don't care. I don't care how you feel about it. I'm that sick with it, you know, to where you feel like you're part of the team.
Yep,
exactly. Yeah. And me and Run, and it's funny because we're talking about this. Me and Run, obviously, we have kids. We already started our kids on that path. You know, our sons are the same age. My daughter's already a Raider. For my daughter says Raiders. That girl, I taught that girl how to say Raiders. Now she don't shut up about it, and I love it. I love it because she knows how to warm my heart. Because I'll be mad at her. She'll be like Raiders, and then I'll be like, all right, girl, Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's that time, and she knows she's so smart. She knows when she looks at the shield, she says Raiders. She can't read. She's barely starting to talk, but she knows it's Raiders. So I love it, and we are getting them on that path. We're growing the new generation. Shout out to my guy Raiders Fools Chris. His kids are Raiders fans too. Let me ask you this, and I want to kind of get your.
That's how you do it, Jay. I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's
how
you
good.
guys do it. You make it homegrown. This shit ain't artificial. It's coming right from the house. You don't expect nobody from the outside to try to bend that tree, so to speak. You bend it yourself while it's young, and it's going to always bear good fruit as far as Raider Nation is concerned. So we got to strengthen our core, our foundation from within, and I'm talking generations deep.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. Let me ask you this. I want to kind of stick on your origin story, because everybody has their origin story. What inspired you to come up with the Violator persona? Because I call it persona. I don't want to say it's a super fan. It's a persona because it's a part of you, right? Talk about that. What inspired you to go ahead and come up with the Violator?
I love that question, Jay. Here we go. Violator as a persona was part of me. I've been like that since I was a kid. Didn't think about putting a name onto it. Even my mom said, baby, you've got, she said I was born under a dark veil, whatever that shit means. But I've had that renegade persona since I was a kid. She told me to learn to channel it. So I'm teaching the same thing, channel it, because there's a time to let that out and there's a time to keep that tucked away. As far as the dressing part, you know, I grew up in the South, so college football was like going to church. And nobody was really sitting on their asses either. So standing up was a non-fact. You know, that's what we did. That keeps you engaged. That keeps your energy going from head to toe. You know, so when I started going to the games when they moved to LA in '83, you know, I'm sitting in the stands and I'm antsy because I'm trying to sit and be like everybody. I'm like, at some point you just say, fuck this. I'm going to do what I'm feeling. So that's why I tell them, follow your heart. That's going to guide you. And that ain't written down in nothing. Just follow your heart. So my thing was, loving theatrics is like, we're going to war, so I got to come up with something that shows these casual kickback fans how I feel we should be as Raiders. You know, we're warriors, so the fan base should replicate that. And so when I came up with this idea of just bringing something that looks vicious, that's the stripes, the war paint, but the spikes, that means we're coming to do bodily harm. That's what we're coming to do bodily harm. And it's like the old Gladiator stuff. Go back and watch some of that. I'm a history buff, so it's pain.
Damn.
And my battle cry back then was "It's About Pain," and it's about pain, baby. But anyway,
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like being a fusion of football and a pirate. So that's what the old uniform was formed from. And that 57 is a tribute to my brother, Jerry Robinson. For that bond that me and him developed while he was playing.
That's fire, man. That's fire.
That's fire. Yes, sir.
Do you ever get hot in there?
Let me iterate, because you know how players come and go.
Right.
And then you got you got to buy another jersey. That's why I advise us, we love these players, but don't get stuck on a player. You think about it as team, because players in this business, players come and go. I was a fan before free agency started. So when I started seeing players that I like get traded away, it took a while to come to grips with that, you know?
Yeah.
And to see players in their career with the teams that drafted them, that's almost a rarity, but it's an honor to see that. And I'm hoping that happens with Max, man. And I just said his name earlier. I'll left tackle.
Oh, Colton.
I hope that happens. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Retire as a Raider, you know.
Me too.
But
Me
as
too.
far as that dress, man, that's just me showing that level of intensity that I am at on game day. Everybody may not want to do that, but you can feel like that. And that's what I'm trying to sell. You don't have to look like me, but damn it, bring that same intensity.
Yeah.
And the team feels that.
Mm-hmm.
They feel that.
Yep. Preaching, man. I mean, he's preaching about that jerseys.
I really don't.
No, you. Hey, that's good, because you preach about them jerseys. I got a number 17 from who shall not be named that I bought last year. That is worth nothing now.
You need to y'all need to do a show on how many different jerseys we have, and get feedback from fans how they feel now with those players being gone.
Yeah, because now, I mean, it looked like Max the only safe one, to be honest with you.
Max and Brock. I got both Max and Brock. I got my Gannon. I got the GOAT, Seawood.
Nah, I started going all back, man. Now I got Cliff Branch. I needed to go all the old school. At least I know I can wear those proudly.
Yeah, those are legends. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
24, that'll last as long as
the Woodson is my next one. I need the Woodson is the one I need.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Shout out to my guy Raiders Fool Chris with the $5 special. He says, before you go, can the good people of the nation hear your best Raiders?
You want it right now? Let's do it right now. I ain't finna go.
Let's
Raiders!
Go. There you go.
Hey, bro.
That's what's up. Shout out to my guy Raiders Fool Chris on the $5 special. Yes, sir.
So let me ask this question too, real quick, if I can ask this. Your favorite Raider of all time? Who is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just get ready to take a sip, but listen.
Go ahead.
That's the question right there that causes me to pause, and here's why. I just spoke about getting stuck on players.
Right.
Now, we have favorites in our heart, and I've got some for different reasons, but it's hard for me to say, out of all these Raiders that I've loved still, to pick one out of that. But for personal reasons, I'm going to do this. Because my usual answer is, I love them all.
Right.
But here's three. I've already mentioned one, Jerry Robinson. The next one is Kenny the Snake Stabler. Because of some nuggets that he dropped on me back in Oakland that I still adhere to today. 30-some years ago, he told me some shit, and it just gave me a direction. And I'm on that direction today. The other one, Howie Long. Y'all know why.
Yes, sir.
When this guy put my name in the hat to go into the Hall of Fame, into that race, that touched me like nothing else, because he was the first player that came up to me when I first started and told me, keep doing what you're doing. we're on the bench watching the media follow you around. One day they're gonna eat that up. So he and I went in 2000, and I was with Visa at that time, but we were in the same parade. So I just walked over to his car and said, "Thank you." You know, by what you said, that gave me life. That's what I'm saying to you guys and anybody else with podcasts. Speak life into what you do. You got to believe in this shit with all of this. So those are my three that I would just give credence to because they've shaped what I do today.
That is so crazy. And what's funny is like I look at Howie Long like the Max before Max. Kind of the way it is. And that's why I always say, like, man, hopefully the history does repeat itself. You kind of look at, what we start to build and what we have, it's like these players, they resurrect themselves in some way, shape, or form in organizations, man. So and that is real dope. That's one of my dad's favorite players too, Howie. He can't say enough good things about Howie Long.
Villanova, baby. Villanova. I'm like, what the hell is Villanova? It doesn't matter where you come, and I'm going to add this to it, guys. Doesn't matter where you come from. It's what you do with the opportunity presented to you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Let me ask you this, since we're still on that topic of Howie Long. How did you feel when you learned you were going to be inducted into the Fans Hall of Fame?
That's crazy.
Wow. I can't even describe it, brother, but it was like when he came to my door, that's the first time I felt my knees buckle other than when I was getting married. And that's when you know it's real. When he came to my door in that gold jacket, I'm like, all this shit talk is over. I'm in, basically.
Yeah.
And like you see the players, they know this shit's going down. And just going through that whole festivities, going to meet David Baker. I'd been going to the hall for the first time. It was just like kids when you go to an amusement park. That's the way I felt. And it was just like, this is the holy fucking grail.
Yeah.
So, but to put that in all those emotions in a sentence, I couldn't do it. It was just way out of my realm. It was just it was just humility, pride, and just jubilance as a fan, all mixed together there. So it's undescribable, but I'm trying to describe it, man. But it's like something you will feel once in your life.
Man, I know it's a while ago, but again, congratulations for that, man. That's something that's so dope.
It never gets old, bro. It never gets old. Trust me.
Yeah,
it never gets old.
That helps us, man. That helps us to try to, who knows if we can achieve that, but that's something to look to and say, I know somebody who's done it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's awesome to see, man.
Yeah, for sure. Again, appreciate everyone pulled up with us on this Saturday morning, chopping it up with the Violator. We are going to take questions pretty soon from the chat. So if you guys have questions, get those ready. We're going to be picking some here and there to go ahead and ask Unc here. Let me ask you this, kind of sticking kind of into this realm of the past, of the Raider nostalgia, the Raiders golden years, I like to call it. What is your favorite Super Bowl win?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's easy. When we defeated the Harold Washington Redskins. We were underdogs.
The Marcus run.
We were underdogs, of course. But it's how we got there. We got into the playoffs that year with a 9-7 record. We were a freaking wild card team. Like I said, that's why I told you earlier, the playoffs is like a new season within the season. All you want to do is get to the dance. And damn it, you better have your shoes shine when you get there. So that's by far my favorite one, was because we were talked down so much, and I thought this was like more of the East Coast biasness, but it's okay, just the beat down that we put on them, and to see Lyle Alzado get his Super Bowl ring and that joy on his face, I was crying.
Oh, I'm gonna cry when we do it. If we win a Super Bowl, I'm crying, bro.
We all gonna cry together.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm shedding tears, mad tears. But I have to ask you this, because everybody know, that watch me. I'm a running back connoisseur, right? I used to play it back in the day. Like that is my stuff. I love running backs. Please, from somebody that's watched it, please tell me the emotions that you felt when you saw Marcus do that run. That is one of the craziest runs I've ever seen, and the setting he did it in the Super Bowl, nonetheless. I mean, what were the emotions?
You know that saying that big time players make big time plays when it counts?
Right.
You can't coach what Marcus did. The play was designed to go left. He reverses field through all of that defense. Now it was just like the Red Sea parted, and just to see him do that, and he looked calm. His face just looked calm. That's believing in your talents. And he's like, all I need is an opportunity. Once he reversed field, he saw a gap. You didn't see him hesitate. He just turned on the jets. Yeah. And the only person that you saw running beside him was who? Cliff Branch.
Yeah.
Everybody else on the defense was chasing him, and they was like, ain't no way I can fucking catch this guy. So they're watching greatness. They're watching history happen right in front of them.
Isaiah, I don't know if I'd do if I saw that. I'd be sweating all type of stuff, dog. The way I'd be jumping around up and down, man.
For sure.
And shout out DJ, man. Hey, we might have to link up or something. I'm right with you. We shedding man tears. We win a Super Bowl, bro. It's happening. I don't care, bro. I'll come on here crying.
Oh yeah.
Is that time for sure? Let me ask you a couple more questions here, and then we'll start going ahead and taking some from the chat. I don't want to go ahead and monopolize all the questions, but let me pick this. I'm gonna pick this one because you started in LA, been to Oakland, now in Vegas. Which Raider tailgates were the most memorable? Was it Oakland? Was it LA? Or was it Vegas?
I can guess which one he gonna say.
Easy answer right there too. They've been great in all the cities. Well, good in 2 cities, but by far Oakland is Mecca to me.
Different,
hands down. It's just different. LA, there was a lot of pregame violence. I'll just keep it short and quick. A lot of pregame violence that I did not like at all, because I've always had this mindset: without opposing fans, you having a scrimmage or practice.
Yeah.
When those fans come in, it's showtime. So I always tell fans, treat them like company. And if you ever graciously invited people to your home, you give them that love, because they take that back to wherever village they crawl from, and that's taking a little bit back of Raider to their hometowns. So that's the way I always looked at it, and that's why I'm just an ambassador. To all those other titles, I could give a shit about. I'm an ambassador. So I'm going to break bread with you, talk shit with you, but hug you and respect you at the end of the day.
Yeah. For sure.
So to answer that question, Oakland was it.
That Coliseum was different, man. That Coliseum was different. We won't be able to replicate, right? And I understand. No. I'm going to ask you a question just kind of off of that. Moving to Vegas, do you feel that we'll never be able to recapture that Oakland spirit a little bit, or do you think it has to be something totally new that we build here?
Great question. Wow. Because I think about this every day. Since that transition, we're on a new frontier, so to speak. Now, here's where fans get lost in it. I understand the whole territory argument back and forth, but they're failing to realize that this is a global brand. We go wherever the fuck we want to go.
Exactly.
When that move to Vegas as a business was the smartest thing Mark Davis could have done. 100%. And I wish that we would give him his flowers for that. We are playing in what I consider the best stadium in the league right now.
Yes.
That's a freaking Taj Mahal. And anybody that ever went to Oakland know what we had. We glorified in that cement dump, but that was our freaking dump.
Yep.
And we took homage in it because it was gritty like us. This place is the Legion is a little bit different, but you have to admire it from a structural standpoint. And that look, nobody else wants nothing that looks like that. That's Raiders all day.
Yeah, that's the Raiders home.
And that's what I tell the youngsters, take pride in that because this has been a long time coming. That's all Al wanted was a stadium to call his own. Damn it, we've got that. So let's embrace that regardless of where it is. It's still where we come to fellowship. Now, as far as the atmosphere, yes, it's different because Vegas doesn't know our culture. I'm just going to put it out there. They don't know our culture. Right. This would be a shock to any city, really, that wasn't familiar with us. That's why I said Oakland embraced it.
Yeah.
We're working so that Vegas will embrace it. Just like we're trying to embrace Vegas right now. Wait till that first Super Bowl win. You're going to see that. And I told somebody else on a different show, that parade is going to be out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be
out
different.
Of control.
I'm driving down there.
I just want to be there. I just want to be
down there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's going to be for the younger fans who may have doubts or there won't be no questions. Either you're in now or get off the ship.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Ain't no more teaching you. You've seen it happen. If you can't believe, you need to leave the ship.
Yeah. I look at it like, we have an opportunity because I feel like even the LA Raiders are different than the Oakland Raiders. Like it was it's a different feel. It's another opportunity to have another iteration of the Raiders, another type of, phase of it. And what other team can say we done been to 3 different cities and won in 3 different cities and remain? No team can say that. So that's why I'm like, I think I understand from the Oakland crowd, you know what I mean, how they can be mad about it. But let's be real. I mean, like you said, I was mad about that too. But then you start to realize, because when I finally went to Allegiant, I think like 2 years ago, and I saw it from my eyes, I'm like, well, okay, there's a reason why we left. We had to leave. I mean, goddamn, we was going to the bathroom in troughs at the O.co.
True that. But here's another one real quick. There's pain with growth.
Yep.
Think about it. There's pain when there's growth. Because it's like snakes when they stretch out of their skin. That skin splits because there's a bigger version of that snake. With us in life, we grow out of our clothes because we're growing, and you look forward to growth. I'm not even myself. I'm not stuck in the past. I'm looking forward to the future because I know what the past is. I'm looking for more of that ahead of me. That's what keeps me so jubilant about it, man. It's like, if I see this again, wow, we've done it a trifecta.
Yeah. No other team can say it.
Raiders trifecta.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this. And I came up with this question because I saw this on Twitter earlier. Shout out to Q Myers. He put up the Mount Rushmore, right? Who's on your Raiders Mount Rushmore? Your top 4 could be players, coaches that you feel is, our Raider Mount Rushmore.
That's awesome question, bro. Raiders Mount Rushmore. Damn, I got 2 right off the top. Al Davis, John Madden.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Has to be.
Now my other 2. Wow, damn, it's got to be 4.
No.
Ooh-wee. I got to go with 2 of the guys that got us there. Jim Plunkett. And it's a shame he's not in the hall.
Right. Yeah. It is.
And wow. Now I need another one. I got to narrow it down to 1. Damn it. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna say the Snake. Another, because that was another leader who led that squad. And like I say, I'm watching them through those dominant years, man. People feared playing us. And as a fan, I'm like, wow, dude, it was almost magical to see. So that would be my Rushmore of 4.
Okay.
Al Davis, who started the Rock, John Madden, who was a coach that I fell in love with, Jim Plunkett, and Kenny Stabler.
Wow. And those are the pioneers, man. I mean, without any of them dudes, we like you said, we're not where we at.
Standing on those shoulders right there. So
yeah, for sure.
Now there could be another generational rush. But that's what we stand on right there.
Because I was gonna say that too. As far as like it would be different for me if I was to say who would it be. Like, of course, I can say Al Davis and say all that because I know the history of the team and we study it like that. But if we're being honest, as generations go through, it's like C-Dub for me, and then after that, it's like it dwindles. You know what I mean? It dwindles because we haven't had that much success. So it's very hard for me to be like off of success wise. Yeah, put him there. Off of like memory wise, there's a lot of Raiders you can do. You know, if we go on memories, Derek Carr is damn near on there for me because he's been, he's part of it on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's part of our history.
I like
Shout
that.
to Derek Carr.
Like you say, those are you talking eras and generations, which is good. That mean that thing is you could tweak. It'd be like a Rubik's cube. You could twist that thing either way, and it's still coming out winners. Either way you twist it. So keep that question in there for whoever your guests are, because you're going to get a plethora of answers.
Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. That's on permanent now.
Yeah. Looking at it from a historical standpoint, that's mine because I'm looking at the foundation.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, because if you think about the America Mount Rushmore, United States Mount Rushmore, it's just your founding fathers. Those are the founding fathers, and for me, it's Al, it's John Madden. I would add Tom Flores to that list and put him up there, and then Jim Plunkett would be my other guy for me. You know, those are the guys that I think that would be on that mantle, on that mountain. We see the faces that will be forever immortalized, right? For sure.
And hats off to Coach Flores. Hey, wishing him well. His health is waning, but like I say, he's one of the foundational pieces. Matter of fact, the first Hispanic quarterback.
Yes.
To me, that should lock.
That's the hall. Yeah, that's the hall.
That's setting the tone, and like I say, that's why I credit Al for that. Nobody else was even going that direction when Al did.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes, 100%. We're going to start shifting over to taking questions from the chat. I had already kind of picked out a couple really quick for you. Let me go ahead and put this on for my guy, Dixon. He asked, will the Violator be in the Madden movie that's coming up?
My phone hasn't rung yet, so who knows, man. But you know what? That would be an epic moment just to represent in that respect. But like I say, my phone hasn't rang. But if it rings, you know I'm ready.
There you go. That'd be
fire. That'd be fire.
Yeah. This one is from my guy Raiders Food Chris. He asked, "Will you be at the open practice on August 2nd?"
I've got tickets, but there's a family function that may interfere with that. So if you don't see me there, family precedes practice. So I'm just hoping it works out. But like I say, bro, because any chance to watch them, I don't care if they're at practice, it gives you that goosebump feeling. That's when you know the shit's real. Never gets old. So I'm hoping it works out, brother, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, for sure. This one is from my guy Jack Kenna. He asked, Violator, a part of the AFC West show and having your boy Ref Guru on next week, what should I ask to educate the other AFC West fans By the way, love your show, you, Cap, and Guru.
Wow, that's awesome that you're having Guru on, man. He's like me, an old throwback fan, but him having been on the field has taught me so much about the game and how I watch the game. This guy has an endless array of knowledge and experience, and he brings it to you straight, no fucking chasing. He just tells you how it is, and there's a lot of stuff you'll learn by hearing him talk. So hats off to you for that. You're in for a good one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. This one is from my guy, God Family and Raiders. He asked, do you have a touchdown celebration dance that we could see you boogie with it?
Touchdown celebration, man. All we do is throw the arms up, man, or cross them up and just scream Raiders, man. I ain't much, I can dance, but when that game's on, I ain't much about dancing. It's about celebrating victory.
Nah, real talk. I'm ready to watch the game at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Yep, same thing. Let me ask you this, and I kind of wanted to talk about this because we're obviously you're the face of the nation. But what is your most memorable moment with the nation? Like being with the fans. What's one thing that kind of like, hey, you know what? This is something I'll never forget. A moment that you shared with the nation.
Wow, that's been so many, brother. Wow, let me hit my Rolodex. Wow, man. It's not one, but it's like, now we're not talking games. We're talking with the fans. One of my favorites was having the Cincinnati Bengals fan base come and tailgate with us in Oakland. And what was the running back for Cincinnati? His family. It was his family. His mom.
Joe Mixon?
Mixon, his family, man. They came and broke bread with us, and just their knowledge of us amazed me. With them saying the way we welcomed them in, dude, my chest was full with pride, because that's what makes the game. It makes the memories. And you hear me say it's always about the memories. We may forget the score of a game, but those memories. But that was one of my most, having his mom just, take pictures with me, the whole family. I'm like, this shit is really game day. Another one was when I invited to KC, a couple, husband and wife, to Oakland. They had called me, they had hit me up on Facebook to find out from me whether it was safe for them to come, first of all, because that fan base, their friends in that fan base told them not to go because things are going to happen to them. We won't get into all that. So they contacted me, so I felt honored that they would even ask my opinion. So I just told it to them straight. I says, look, I would be honored to have you there as my guest, but I got one thing that I want you to do. You must wear your team colors. Do not camouflage who you are. And I says, I will meet you there at the tailgate. So when I got there, they beat me there. When I got there, I saw smiles on both of their faces. And as I come towards them, I'm looking like, you guys having fun? And when they embraced me, it was just like, this is what game day is about, man. Fellowshipping with each other before we go in and watch the war on the field. And they wrote me a long letter after they went back. And they say their peers that told them not to come was mad because the smiles on their faces with me and all the pictures with the Raider Nation. They were upset about that. So people have a tendency to say that you sell out, and I've had that thrown at me several times over the years. But like I said in the beginning, I don't care what you think. I'm doing it the way my heart tells me to do it, and it's the right way. You appreciate fans for who they are. It's a fraternity like none other, regardless of the sport. But we're talking Raiders. It's an honor to do that because, like I say, at the end of the day, they're taking memories back that they share with others. How else can you infiltrate the enemy?
Yep. And don't even worry about that. From this point forward, right? If run down here any Violator slander, I'm on your ass. I'll tell you that.
Oh
right
yeah,
now. I better not
100%.
hear nothing. I better not hear nothing.
It is what it is, bro. My skin is so thick. They don't.
I understand. Definitely.
Nah.
After this, man, I consider you one of the guys, man. So I really do appreciate you just pulling up on us and sharing your knowledge, of course.
That's what it's about right there. I love that. See, we're family. So we say that shit, but we have to show that shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know if we touched on this one, Run. This is from Just Another DJ. Shout out to him for being a member on Run's channel for 2 months. He asked, how do you feel about the Raiders always asking the fan base to show up, but not holding up on their end?
Love that answer, brother. I love that question. First of all, I'm going to start the answer like this. Control what you can control. When they ask us to show up, that's because they don't know us. The old front office never asked us to show up because we were always there before them. That's the new front office that don't really know us. You don't have to ask us to show up. You better be telling us not to show up. But in Vegas, it's different because there's a different type of fan base that's there. And I call them investors.
Right.
Investors. Not buying tickets to sit your ass in those seats. You're buying it to invest. And that's the problem that we have at Allegiant right now. Even though Vegas is a destination place, because I talked to the opposing fans for the last 4 years, and they've all told me man, when we see the Raiders and it's in Vegas, they take vacation for a week leading up to that game. So that just shows you how real that city is and what type of draw that Vegas has. You can't be mad at that. But what you can be mad is not selling your ticket if you're going to sell it to a Raiders fan. It's almost sacrilegious, but
yep.
I don't have that problem because I'm not a season ticket holder, but I'm going to damn sure find a way to be in there. But to sell your ticket to just anybody is sacrilegious. Yeah, and I get it. Real. I get this part. I get this. But you got to keep some of it real here.
Hey, Raider fans got money too. I mean, I'm not going. If we're playing the Chiefs, if I'm playing the Chiefs, I cannot knowingly give my ticket to a Chiefs fan. I just can't do it. Yeah, I don't want you to see them in there. I'm sorry. I want one of my Raider family to get in there. We might do it on the show or whatever, but I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
So to those PSL holders that have a strict rule about that, I tip my hat to you. That's called honor. There's got to be some honor in what we do. And otherwise, what are we doing?
Exactly. There you go.
Right. Yeah. I don't have any money, but I'm finding a way to make my hat down there some way, somehow, man. I'm sitting my ass in one of those seats for one of those games at least, for sure. Let me go into this next question. Again, this is from my guy, God Family Raiders. He asked, Violator, had Bo Jackson never got that injury that retired him, do you feel he could have been that best running back in Raiders history?
Oh, man, by far, yes. And so unfortunate how that happened, but everything happens for a reason. We had the best thunder and lightning tandem right there, I think, of all the teams in the league. This guy could take it to the house, and so could Marcus. And Marcus is playing fullback for him. I'm like,
which is wild.
At that time, I could not even believe what I was seeing. But that just shows you the character of Marcus. And to see him go to another team, that was another one that kind of crushed me as a fan. But you get it. It's business. Bo Jackson was people call a unicorn. He was that. Mm-hmm. Played both sports. Not very many people can do that. Tip my hat to Deion Sanders too. But this guy was so powerful. And I met him recently in Vegas. And it's just to see this guy at work, a guy that big, that fast, and that powerful. I just remember the game in Seattle with him and Bosworth. That was a big hype before that game. And I always laughingly say he made Bosworth retire. He embarrassed him that much on national TV. But to answer that, Bo was like one of those generational running backs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely 100%. One of my favorite players. I love Bo. Shout out to Bo for sure. There you go. We got a super from our girl Myra. Shout out to her with the $15 special. She asked, Violet, as a fellow Oakland OG who is always at the games at the Collie, how do you feel about these new super fans that slap on these dorky costumes in Vegas but never step foot in Oakland?
Love that one, Myra. Let me answer this one just how it is, how I would say it. There's got to be purpose in what you do. Now, I love that they want to express that fandom, but there's different agendas, and that's just my opinion. There's different agendas nowadays, and I see more of everybody trying to stake a claim. Those, and I call them uniforms. Sorry, they're not costumes to me, but when you put on that uniform, it's time to go to work, and people are going to relish you in what you do more than what you say, and it's how you carry yourself. It's like what's going on in the country right now. Everybody has that right, or that it's a privilege and an honor to me to represent the team, but you cannot be there for 15 minutes of fandom. That shows it's obvious. You've got to be there with that mindset of being like a glue that's going to cement all these bricks together. You know, bringing that youngsters, like we've been talking on this show, bringing youngsters along. And it's not about, like they used to give me shit, dressing up like it's Halloween. Yeah, it's Halloween every day as far as I'm concerned. But you know why I'm there. Joking or not, you don't see me smiling. But to try to answer your question, Myra, these guys will hopefully find purpose in what they do to where it gives meaning to it, not other than just being there for the camera.
Right.
You know, when I started, I didn't give a damn about the cameras. I'm there for the crowd to get them engaged in the game. It ain't about the camera. The camera found me. So, and I get it, you know, but everybody's in that. I want to be famous and seen. That comes over time also. You've got to put some work in to get that recognition. So it's, you know, it's a touchy subject, but that's just coming from me. You've got to have purpose in what you do other than being seen on TV.
Yep, for sure. Facts. I agree 100%. Let me ask this question. This is from my guy, Anthony Flores. I don't know if you might know him as the Predator. He asked, what games is the Violator going to?
All the home games, and anytime we play in SoFi, I'll be there too.
There you go.
That's a home road game.
Yes. We are strong there. Hopefully this year could be the year that we break the SoFi curse. If y'all don't know what the SoFi curse is, we haven't won in SoFi since it was built.
Yeah, hopefully we can break that this year.
Hopefully this is the year that we break that, and possibly even sweep the Chargers. So we'll see what happens for sure. Let me ask you. This one is, hold on 1 second. What happened? Okay. This one is for my guy Nabman, Radio Shield family. He has many do not realize how funny Hellraider is. I know you know him. How cool is that dude? You together at Tailgates.
Yes, I do know Hellraider, the original one. Down to earth guy, like I say, purpose in what you do. And, you know, we don't really hang. I haven't seen him at a tailgate because I'm busy in Vegas, you know, doing sponsor, you know, obligations and what have you. But there, if I remember correctly, I think there were 2 Hail Raiders. Now, to me, that's a no-no. You've got to be original with all these uniforms. Be original. Yes. That's my only thing. And because it seems it's what I comprise as being lazy and picking low-hanging fruit.
Right.
Everybody has some originality about them and the way you express it, but to just go and piggyback off something else, that's really crossing that line. But like I say, there's got to be some etiquette and honor about what we do.
100%.
100%. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Ron?
Oh no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I think we done squeezed all the juice out the lemon that we can today, man. For sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna end it off like this with this last question, and it's really more of you having a message. What is your message for Raider Nation? They are here. They are watching us. They will watch us once the show is done, and we'll be on YouTube for a very long time. What is your message to Raider Nation?
Let's create a unified body and stand together. That's my message right there. Bring that unity like it should be, because right now the Shield has a lot of hairline fractures in it. From that's just the way I visualize. It's got a bunch of hairline fractures, and we need to mend all of that and bring that glory and that shine back to the Shield. So unify and stand as one.
Yes,
agreed.
Sir. Perfectly put. Yes, sir.
Agreed.
We appreciate you pulling up with us on this Saturday morning and talking some Raider ball and taking some questions. We know you're a very busy guy and you have a lot going on, so we really do appreciate taking this time and chopping it up with us for sure. I will definitely be seeing you at the game. I will be there week 2. I'll be there for that Jaguar game. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be up there because I'm on a shoestring budget this year, so I can't be like getting those.
Hey, it is what it is.
Nicer seats down there, but I'll be in attendance for sure.
All right, let me ask you a question. Are you going to be there on Saturday?
I will get in on Sunday. I won't be there
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there for Sunday.
If you're in town on Saturdays, come down to the Golden Nugget. That's where our parties are going to be this season. So just come down there, man, and like I say, just fellowship, man. I look forward to seeing all of you out there at some point. Come by, let's grab a hug and fellowship, man. Like I said, we've got to unify and stand strong as one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there week 3 for the Bears game. So you said the Golden Nugget. I'd definitely be there for sure.
Come on through, man.
Yeah, I'm like my boy Jay now. My nose gonna be bleeding during the game, but it is what it is. We all good. At least we watch it.
But you're in the house. I hear people.
We're in the house. We're
That's all that matters.
In the house.
We're in the house. We're out there. We're yelling Raiders. Hold on. Let me do it right for one time.
Raiders!
Yes, sir. That never gets old. That
never gets old. I know my girl's getting changed. If not, I'll bring out here and have her do a Raiders too. But that's a whole other thing. But again, we appreciate everyone pulling up with us on this Saturday morning. I know you guys have choices for different shows, and we appreciate and love every single one of you tapping in with us. Make sure, as always, you guys check in, hit that like, and especially that subscribe button, especially if you're feeling what you're hearing. If you want to see more shows like this, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and especially when news goes on, we go on. You don't want to be left out in the dark. Again, appreciate everyone pulling up with us. Make sure you guys tap in on next Saturday as we bring another fire guest. For sure. I
saw what DJ just said in the chat.
I just saw it too. We saw high up, bro.
My boy saying we damn near touching the roof. I get you. It's all good. It's all good though.
That's how it goes sometimes. I don't know, man.
Hey,
but
we there,
hey,
like Unc said, we in the building. That's all that matters.
we in the building. That's all that matters, man. But week 2 is gonna be if you guys are not going to week 2, go to week 2. Week 2, that home opener is gonna be fire.
Yeah.
That is a game you want to
I'm looking for tickets right now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking to go to that one.
It's versus the Chargers. It's the bitter rival, and we got something to prove this year. We can't let them skunk us again. We can't, for sure.
Nah.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody, man. Make you hitting them buttons, man. Tap in. You already know what time it is. And
yes, sir.
Like Unc said, if you're looking to see him during the season, the golden nugget, right? The golden nugget, that's where he will be. So make sure you guys showing that love, man, showing that Raider family love as we always do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you guys tap in with us next Saturday as we have Mike from Raiders Against the World will be in studio chopping it up with us. It's going to be another fire show. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap into that. But other than that, appreciate you guys. Love and appreciate every single one of y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Same bad channel, same bad time.
Yep.
Until next time,
be safe, man. Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir.
Raiders.
Yes, sir.
Salute.